Recording in progress. Welcome to Tuesday morning energetic healing yoga. This morning we're going to be focused on hips and some of the less recognized deep core muscles. So we're going to start down on the mat. For now, though, if you're already standing, just go ahead and step wide, transfer your weight side to side, put a micro bend in your knees. As you exhale through pursed lips, just feel your weight sort of sink. Feel the strength of your legs. And then inhale and let your arms kind of float up. Turn your palms in. And let your gaze be unfocused between your middle fingers. Your elbows heavy, let your shoulders relax. We're just going to be here for a few more breaths. Notice sensations of energy in and between your hands and in this whole circle that your arms create. Feel the bottom of your right foot on the floor, the bottom of your left foot, and feel your rib cage ride your breath. And then on an inhale, bring your fingers to the middle of your forehead and trace a line down the center of the front of your body. When you get around your navel, split, gather, thumb and forefingers together and step in. Take a moment to feel like you've gathered the calm, the peace, the good qualities of that meditation into your Sushumna, the space in front of your spine. And then inhale up and exhale. Forward fold, walk your hands forward, your feet back, pedal your feet side to side. Now I'm going to show this from down dog. After we'll start, you can start down dog or knees on the ground. I'll start here and I'll lift up. We're going to exhale back. You want to make sure that you're not dropping your elbows. You want to feel this whole stretch through the lats, the upper arms, all the way back into your upper butt and maybe even around your hips. Inhale, shift forward, and then lower your hips and pull your rib cage forward. Exhale back. Inhale forward. If you want, you may already be doing this. Down dog, forward to a form of up dog. I'm keeping my toes turned under the whole time. The next time you're back in down dog, pedal your feet a little bit. Wave your hips side to side, turn your head. Inhale, lift one heel to the sky. Circle the ankle. And exhale. Right foot, right wrist, left knee down. Inhale, Anjayanasana. Press into the top of the back foot. Lift elevator drawstring zipper. Let your shoulders melt down your back. Exhale, hands down, knees back, chest, chin, and knees. Inhale, cobra with the knees on the ground. Exhale, tabletop or down dog. Inhale, lift the left heel to the sky. Circle the ankle. Exhale. Left foot, left wrist. Wave up. Press into the top of the right foot. And arms raised in the way that's best for you today. In this moment, in this breath. Exhale. Swim the hands down. Step back to downward facing dog. Pedal the feet. And exhale, knees down, hips back, lower the head. We are going to practice hip lifts next. If you have a glute band and would like to use it, this would be an appropriate place for it. Glute bands look like this. You'd put it right above your knees, directly above your knees. Again, there are two options for how we're going to do the hip lifts. You could do this from bridge pose, so laying down, knees bent, feet on the floor, and then press the backs of your arms into the ground. Exhale and lift your hips. If you've got the glute band just above your knees, you're pressing out into the glute band at the same time. Inhale, lower, and exhale, lift. If you feel like, I would also like to do something for my arms right now, then put your hands on the floor, your feet on the floor. Exhale, lift. Inhale, bend and lower. Inhale, lower your hips. And then turn onto one side. This is another place where you could use the glute band if you'd like. Now, we're going to return to some side planks soon. If you already feel really confident in your side plank and you want to make this like extra core, we're going to lift the top knee and lower down. You want to feel the outside of your upper thigh and your glute in this lift. Try to keep your hand either on your ribs, pressing up into your ribs from below, or on your hip. Try not to be down like this because you're going to be using less of the muscles we're targeting. If you want to make this more core, lift up into side plank. Exhale, lift the top knee, inhale down. Inhale, lower the hip if it's up. And then on an exhale, bring your feet forward. Rock a little bit side to side. And exhale, hinge forward. Set your heels wide and bring your toes in. So you're getting the stretch through the place that you'd like it. Beautiful. Inhale, hinge up, and then exhale, lower down the elbow and hip and heels on the other side. So you want your heels directly under the hips, in line with your shoulders and your ear. Hand on the top ribs, lifting up or on the hip. Exhale, lifting up, really feeling it in that outer upper thigh into the glute. If you'd like, lift up to side plank. Same thing. Exhale, lifting and squeezing. Inhale, partway down. On an inhale, lower down. This time, come up to sitting, feet together, and rock from side to side, hinge forward. Inhale, hinge up, and then stack one knee on top of the other. You're on the outside of one hip. Press down through that hip in the other sitting bone. We're not trying to bring it to the ground. We're simply pressing down, feeling the lift, and then exhale, turn away from the knees. Inhale, lift. Exhale, rotate. Inhale, lift. And exhale, turn. Inhale, look forward. Unwind. And then move to the other side. So feet are behind the hips. Opposite hip is down. Inhale, reach down through the sitting bones. And exhale, turn. Every inhale creates space. And every exhale, maybe a little more revolution. Inhale, look forward. And then plant your hands behind you and set your feet wide. Exhale, one knee down. Inhale, center. And exhale, the other knee down. Now, grab a block and recline on the ground. Put the block between the calves. Have your heels, knees, and hips in alignment. So briefly, this is what we're not doing, is this. We really want the legs almost like you're standing on them. And then open your arms. Exhale, lower the legs to hover over one side. Inhale, center, and exhale, side B. Now, if again, you're thinking, you know what, I'd like a little more, you can extend the legs. You might or might not go as close to the ground. Be careful of your low back in this extended leg version if you choose it. If at any point your low back starts to let you know it's having trouble, put your feet on the ground, keep squeezing into the block. But continue with the slow twisting to one side, inhaling back to center and over to side B. Last set. When you feel like you've done things equally, come back to center. Keep your block handy and roll up. Come maybe to forward fold and then wave up elevator drawstring zipper, rolling your shoulders back. We're going to work with hip hikes next. So for this, these are possible to do without the aid of a wall, but I find that I'm able to focus on what I need to focus on better if I just use the wall. So you're going to stand. I'll stand with my inside foot on the block. You can do inside or outside. Hand on the walls. So we're starting with this leg dangling. And just, we'll go ahead and do this too. Give it a few pendulum swings. And what I mean by that is you want it totally relaxed. So I'm not moving this with my leg muscles. I'm literally just pushing and letting it go back and forth. Okay, so we've created a little bit of extra space, length. Now, drop that hip as much as you can. Your foot might almost come to the floor, in fact. And then exhale, lift it to parallel to the other hip, and then lift it even higher toward the rib cage. Inhale down. Exhale, lift it level and squeeze it up. Inhale down. Exhale first to level, pause, and then all the way up, pause, and inhale down. Continue with the rhythm of your breath, resting when it's appropriate. Maybe one last one, depending upon how your body's feeling. And then step down and just walk around for a moment. Notice how your bod feels. You may have noticed that the standing leg got substantially tired. That's okay. Both legs, the standing leg is stabilizing. The moving leg, or core in this case, was strengthening. So I'm just going to move the block out. So now it's under my outside foot. Arm up. You can turn if you would like. So we're going to do the leg dangle first. Push it back and forth like a pendulum, resulting in a little bit of relaxation. Your psoas responds to rhythm. And so it could let go a little bit. Just notice how it feels to you. And then drop the target leg hip down. So the leg is going to move, but we're focused on the pelvis. Exhale, lift level, pause, and squeeze up, pause. Inhale down, exhale, level, pause, completely lift, pause. And inhale down. Continue with the rhythm of your breath. You want to feel like you're lifting the pelvis toward the rib cage. And don't be surprised if the two sides feel radically different. Just bring it all into awareness. And then inhale, relax down, step off, and once again, walk around and notice. We're done with the block for now, so you can put that off to the side if you'd like. We're going to come back down to the ground. Let's actually do a hip circle or two first, though. So step a little bit wide, toes out, and just circle back into one side and inhale forward into the other side. And you can, the lower you lower your body, the more core you're going to recruit, reverse. You can stay mostly upright here. Just notice what's working for you by listening to your body. And then step a little bit wider. Turn both of your feet, say to the right, float the arms, and exhale, reach out over the right leg. Bring your arms one up and one down. Here, we're really feeling the pelvis tilting. So the right hip bone goes down and the left comes up. And now we're lifting the rib cage away from the pelvis. Inhale, hinge up. And then exhale, walk or hop back to center. And then out, turn, hands on the hips, lift the kneecaps, press on the outsides of the feet. Exhale, start to turn. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. So now the left hip bone is coming down, the right hip bone is circling up. Open your arms when you feel ready and lift the rib cage out of the pelvis. Allow the front of the pubic bone to drop. Inhale, hinge up, and exhale back to center. Hinge, step, or hop back to center. And inhale, up hands. Exhale, fold, walk your hands forward, your feet back. And just shift forward and back a few times, forward and back. And then lower down to the knees and lower down to one side. Now, first thing we're going to notice, go ahead and just sort of slouch into that shoulder. You're probably going to feel some weird stretching here. This is fine for a very brief resting pose, but what we want to do is exactly the opposite. Now we're going to press down through that elbow. Feel how that activates the muscles on the outside of the rib cage and integrates your shoulder blade in the back. Make sure your head's in line with your spine. Keep pressing down through that elbow. Now, hand on the top rib cage. Exhale, press the rib cage up and inhale down. We're going to do that 4 more times. Exhale the rib cage up and feel what's happening on the bottom. We're activating the transverse, but mainly the obliques, the muscles that wrap around the sides. Now, keep the rib cage part up. Your knee is on the floor. Let's all start with that. On an exhale, now lift the outside of your waist. And then if it feels right, lift the hips. And then if you want to add something, lift the top arm and maybe you lift the top leg. Inhale, lower down. Bring the feet forward and come down to the elbow on the other side. So same thing. Let's give this side the same treatment that we did on the other. First, sink into the elbow and just feel what that feels like. And then press, as much as you were slouching into it, press it down. Feel the integration of the shoulder blade with the collarbone, with the arm bone, with the rib cage, and then hand on the top hip. On the top ribs. Exhale, lift up and start to feel what's happening on the bottom. Now squeeze this up, add in the waist, and maybe it lifts the hips too. If you want to add, reach the arm and lift the top leg. Really focus though on pressing down through the elbow and lifting through the outer bottom waist. Inhale down. And exhale. Facing the ground. Bring your hands on either side of your rib cage, about the bra line. Press into the tops of your feet. And let your heels go a little bit wide. Isometrically pull the hands back. And then start to rise up into your cobra. Exhale. Shift back and wave your hips from side to side. Exhale. Downward facing dog. And then feet halfway forward, maybe a little bit wide, lower the hips. Press your elbows out and your knees in. Reach your sitting bones back. Inhale, hands forward. And exhale, heels down. Next inhale, reach up, shoulders down, feet pressed down. Lift up through your fingers and head. And exhale back to center. All right. We've actually worked with the obliques and the associated core muscles quite a bit this morning. So I think I've changed my mind about the interval. I've been wanting to introduce Lakshmi kicks. It's been a long time since we've done these. And you can do these extra slowly. This is really a deep core. We've been working a lot with the side and upper core. This is really a deep core and into the pelvis move. Use 2 blocks, one under each hand. And then we're going to lift one leg. You can keep this knee bent. You definitely want to keep the bottom leg bent. And then we're going to exhale up, inhale down. You can do it from further back. You'll probably leap a little less from further back, and that can keep it scaled back a little bit. We're going to do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off, up to 8 times. Rest as you want. So in these 10 seconds, you might decide you're going to do 3 in each if you want to keep this nice and sedate. Or you might go for as many as you can get with exquisite form. So we're going to start in 10. Set your hands. Lift one heel up and back. Exhale up. And resting interval, I like to come up in between, even though they're tiny and short. Set form. Step back if you want it less intense. You can rest, turning the toes in and drawing your hips back. And short resting interval. Walk around a little bit. Set form. You're a quarter of the way through. Three, two, one. Whew. The one leg is probably feeling it. This is the last one on this side. Inhale, exhale. Three, two, one. Next interval, lift the opposite leg. Set form. Three, two, one. Resting interval and set form. Three, two, one. 75% of the way through. Set form. Remember, you can step back to reduce intensity. And 20 seconds left to go. Set form. 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and keep your head at the same level or maybe slightly lower than your heart. Bend the knees. Shift your weight from side to side. Inhale. Come up, plant your hands. Relax the pelvis down. So you're bearing the weight of your torso through your arms and into the knees and lower legs. Inhale, star. And exhale, hinge or hop back to center. Take a drink of water if you brought yours into your room. Now, we're going to stretch out the sides of the body with a slow dancer's pose. So last week we did leaping dancer. Don't worry, this isn't that. We're gonna bring, say, the right foot behind the left. And I'm gonna suggest and demonstrate putting the whole outer right foot on the ground. Inhale, lift the arm, lift the rib cage, and arc over. Inhale through center and exhale over. And then left foot behind the right leg. Try to get the whole outside foot on the floor. Lift the rib cage, lift the arm, and arc. Inhale, back through center. And step wide, empty coat arms. Grab a blanket. We're going to do Marichi's twist. So the twist we did before is called Bharavad's twist. Each of these figures, Marichi and Bharavad, were sages from before recorded history. So for this one, you can do this in a comfortable cross-legged seat if you would prefer. Or bring, say, your left foot over to the right hip, and then the right foot on the outside of the left knee. Inhale and lengthen down through your sitting bones, up through your head. Exhale and turn toward that knee. Inhale, create length, and exhale, revolution. And then when you feel ready to stabilize, press your hand down directly behind your sacrum. You could have the arm on the outside here. Inhale, look forward and unwind. So there are many differences between these two twists. One is that this is a closed twist. Take the opposite foot position. So here I'm demonstrating right heel outside of left hip. Left foot outside of right knee. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale. We're turning toward the side of the body rather than away, where the legs are the most compressed. Inhale, lift, and exhale, turn. To stabilize, press the hand down behind the sacrum. At the end, maybe turn the head. Inhale, look forward and unwind. Bring the soles of your feet together and then lift and lower the knees a little bit. This isn't for the inner thighs or anything except the psoas. The psoas is actually responsible for the rhythm of our walking, and it responds to rhythms in the body. And so we can support it in unwinding with some rhythmic motions. And then release and hinge forward. Inhale, lift the back of your head and hinge up. We're going to come down to the ground. The back of the wrist under the glute. Nose to the ceiling. Your knees could be bent or straight. Exhale, bend the elbows, coming up for fish pose. Option to set the head down and press your fingers toward your heels. Option to lift the legs. Exhale, tuck the chin, lower hip to heart. Hug your knees in. Bring the tops of your feet toward the ceiling. Rock side to side. And then take any other final movements that would feel good for you and stretch out. Ah. Ah. Create as much support or as little as you'd like. And start to notice the rhythm of your breath slowing. That means we have 3 minutes left. We'll take another one. Notice how each breath is unique. And start letting go of layers, of conditioning, of trying to make anything in particular happen. You might imagine that you're outside under the clear winter sky at sunrise. Perhaps you've been awake for an hour and you woke to a sky scattered with stars. You even may have seen a shooting star. And you've been drifting in and out of consciousness ever since, noticing the sky gently changing, fewer and fewer stars, more and more blue in the almost inky black of the night sky. And then an orange golden glow laced with pink. And finally, the brilliance of the sun cresting the eastern horizon. You might even feel its warmth on the front of your body. Feel your body on the earth, your breath flowing through your body. And imagine that each and every cell directly absorbs and drinks in the light of the sun. Stay here for as long as you'd like. If you'd like, start to move and stretch. Listen, maybe for the beating of your heart. Expand the back of your mouth and feel the skin of your face in the room that you're in right now. Feel your breath in your nostrils. And open your eyes and just feel a space between you and the ceiling, you and each of the walls. And as you're ready, roll to one side and breathe life into your back. And wave up to your comfortable seat. Feel your hands on your thighs, your sitting bones pressing down. And feel your rib cage, ride your breath one last time. For this practice, maybe not the last time for today. And if you'd like, join me for a final Om. Om. Happy Yoga Day. Have an awesome week. Happy Valentine's, everyone.